Alright everybody, welcome back. I took a day off on the build. Had my buddy Paul come in town, stay the night. We hung out a little bit. Spent the afternoon talking, just catching up and that kind of thing, and didn't really get anything done yesterday. And then I had to work today, so I kind of got a late start, but I went ahead and hooked the vent line up. I had to cut a little half moon right there in the carbon. That's pretty much why they have the 90 degrees up here. And it's not a big deal to do that because the support of the wings, you know, the G loading is really not on these carbon spars per se, because I always wondered, you know, before I got one and kind of saw how it was, I wondered why they went with such a thin carbon. But the way it works is you got this bolt, this big metal apparatus or aluminum apparatus here, whatever this is made out of, which is your pivot point. And then that bolts into the two carbon spars. So you would think that this is what's taking your G loading. Well, it's kind of not. What I didn't know is if you see this, okay, so here's the main gear. There's a ply bulkhead here, and then that softer ply bulkhead up there, but it's still a bulkhead. And you got this cross beam. Well, you can't see it, but there's two big bolts right there, and they run into this. So essentially, your load is built into the frame plus this to kind of help stiffen it. So it's a pretty good design, I think. There shouldn't be any issues with you know, the G's or anything like that. From all the videos, they seem to be pushing these things pretty hard. I went ahead and put the fuel line up to the pump. This is going to be the go up to the pump. I'm going to mount the pumps kind of right here under these little vent things. So if I ever need to get to them, you know, I could just essentially just take the tube out, or the nose off, and slide the tank forward and they're going to come out, or just come in through the gear doors and run right back through there. They're kind of heavy, so I'm trying to keep them forward of the CG, that way I don't, you know, it's just one less less weight I'd have to shift forward or add later on. The vents, not sure where I'm going to put the outside connection. It's just going to be a brass tubing. I thought about putting it in here, you know, kind of inside here, so when the nose is on, you just kind of come in through the bottom, you know, behind the inlet here, and just plug in to this right here. But that would make it a little hard, you know, getting up in there. So I may come out right down here at the bottom right here. So I'll just come in there and put one on. Haven't really decided yet. I may put it in the nose, you know, maybe put it like right here, run them up to right here and have them both in the center. That way they're in between the two missile rails on the nose. Let's see, the turbine's in, the FOD screen's on, nice clean duct. I went ahead and put the gear back in, ran all the cables for the turbines. All the pipes are in, so essentially everything minus the pumps, which are going to go like right here, like I said, everything's pretty much ran in the tail. The only thing I'll have to do is the one little lead going out to the wing to plug the wings, the servos and stuff in the wings in when I put them on. But if I get some fuel, I got my turbine oil and everything. If I can get some fuel here pretty soon, while I'm waiting on the nose, I may go ahead and crank the turbines, get them ran. The nose is in paint right now. I got an email from John. They were a little confusion on the decals, what they wanted them to do. So I told them, hey, just do the black decals this time again, and so they'll probably put those on today and clear coat whatever they do, and then it should ship this week, or I mean probably the first of next week, because they want to get it out before their holiday kicks in. So I'll get the new nose, my new stab, hopefully the wing bags, and I was missing a hardware package. It's hard to see in the instructions, you know, these little pictures in the instructions they have online, but there was the fuel pack, the kind of like wing hardware pack, bolts, nuts and bolts and screws, and then more screws, and then this bag with the flaps for the wings and the special adapters for your servos. And then there's one more package that has all the rods, the clevises, and the carbon control horns that you have to glue in the rudders, and I think those slats are all in one package, and they didn't send me that one. So they're sending me that as well. So about all I can do for the wings is put the servos in and put the flap servo in until I get the actual rods. But fuselage is pretty much done. I still have to run the airlines to the mains, but that's easy. All the gear doors are done, air cylinders are back in, pipes are in. I went ahead and did all the two air lines and the two leads going back to the tail of the jet for the servos, and the speed brakes are covered with that plastic tubing, and then pretty much right past this bulkhead where the hot section starts, it's covered with aluminum tape all the way down. The servo wires are covered with aluminum tape and ceramic blanket just to give them extra protection down there, and they're all ran to the nose here. Kind of see, here's all the air. This is looks like as it sits right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 airlines coming from this in the fuselage section. 2 leads per turbine, vents, and the 2 lines coming from the saddle tanks, which are going to plug into the main tank vent line. And then of course you have the 2 pickup lines that will come down to the UATs, which are going to be right in this area here, and that'll be pretty much it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and put the fuel tank in tonight, and that way I can get the UATs hooked up. I'll just be kind of dangling here, and then I'll make a mount for them. I'll probably just stick them to the side walls of the nose section when I get it, and then right in front of that I'll probably have 2 UATs. I'll have the ECUs here as well. That way when the canopy's open I can kind of look down in there and see them, plus I'll be able to hook in my anything I need to there. And then the fill ports will be there as well to fill the fuel, and then forward of that will be all the air valves and the sequencing, and then everything else will be pushed down to the nose, which will be the terminal boxes for the, you know, these don't have to go in the jet, but they're pretty lightweight, and I don't know, if I need the weight in the nose I may go ahead and, you know, put them on the battery tray in the nose. I kind of don't like having to take the nose off every time I fly, so, and this is just extra weight. You know, most of the time you plug it in, you crank them, and then you unplug it, you know, put it back in your radio box. So we'll see. It just depends. But that's everything so far. I took the nose gear kind of apart a little bit. The air cylinder on the nose gear. When I took that, took the kind of the bottom hatch off. You know, it pulled paint off, and it was just, I repainted this. I already showed you guys this, but the area where the bracings were, these little guys here that go over that air cylinder and connect to this and hold it on. They use CA, and when I took it off, it pulled the paint off. So I put some new paint on it. The paint that I'm using is just a outdoor type primer slash. It's like a primer and a paint all together, and it seems to match up to the paint that they used on the gear perfect. Could be the same paint, who knows? But I'm not going to paint the gear at this time. That'll be something I can do later on once the jet's done and everything. So that's about it. So I'm going to get back to it, and you guys take it easy.